I'd just look around and be like, is this real?
Facing bowlers in nets is pretty minging.
Just for the sake of being flogged like a dead horse.
He was already a 45-year-old miserable git.
That was a waste of money.
So if you can't get into professional cricket after this, there's something wrong with you.
Hello and welcome back to Under the Lid, the podcast in partnership with the PCA and the Cricketer. As always, it's me, Jack Brooks, and I think we've got a Sciver-Brunt, but I'm not sure which one.
Yeah, we've got the better one this week, Katherine.
The better podcast host, the Cricketer. Who are you talking about?
All of the above, I reckon.
The work experience lady we had on last week in your place was very good.
Yeah, she was decent. I think she really bigged herself up and she said it all went smoothly. Couldn't have gone any better. But I'm yet to actually, give my feedback.
But also, I thought because it was your 40th that day, I just assumed you were about 15 beers deep.
Yeah, I was like, screw this, I can't be doing this on my birthday.
Which would have been more fun, to be honest.
No, I wish it was that excuse. I mean, it turned into that, though.
Excellent. Well, I hope you're all right and you had a nice birthday anyway. And it's good to have you back in your rightful place. It went really well last week with Jemima. I'm not sure what you know of her personally, but her and Nat obviously knew each other, which made it good fun. She had some good stories.
Yeah, she's great. I've bumped into her a couple of times. I know that she plays the guitar and she's in a band. She loves that bit. She's very good at social media, actually. She's like, I'm sure she wants to have a career or future in that after cricket. And she's just generally quite bubbly and eccentric. So she's quite chatty.
Yeah, she definitely was that. She was fantastic, which I'm hoping our guest this week will be as well, who I'm no doubt he will be, to be honest, as well. He's a bit of a geezer. Not sure how much you know of him, but he is another PCA rep on the circuit. He's been around a little while now. He's had a taste of an England squad. He's one of the best glovemen on the circuit, one of the most exciting keeper batters. I played against him a few times when he was a little bit younger, when he burst onto the scene. And according to our producer, who he must really like him, but it turns out he's known him for an awfully long time, says he's got one of the most aesthetically pleasing back foot drives in the game. So for anyone that have seen this young man bat before, they probably agree with it. So let's get Durham's Ollie Robinson in, please.
Hi, guys.
Hey.
Mr. Robinson, how are you, mate? And how was that comment about your back foot drive? Is that your most pleasing shot?
Yeah, I mean, in the game's a big call, I think. There's some...
I was going to say, our producer isn't your mum or anything, is it?
Dad.
Is it your dad? Okay, yeah, I thought so, yeah.
Yeah, maybe in Chester Street, but not the game. But I'll take it.
Excellent, mate. Talking of Chester Street, mate, I bumped into you at a wedding in the winter and we probably shared a few boozy hugs and chats. But I remember playing against you back in 2019 when you were just sort of bursting as a regular in the Kent Championship side. And you churned them out and did really well for a few years. And now you're up north in Durham. You've been up there a few years now. So how's life up there, mate? And you don't appear to have got the twang yet.
No, not got the twang, but I'm loving it. It's the best thing I've done, I think, in cricket in terms of my career. Kind of taking myself out of a fairly comfortable situation where you kind of got your home comforts and everything like that, to kind of literally go to the other end of the country.
Hell of a move, that, geographically, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, and financially with the old removal company as well. But no, it's been brilliant. But yeah, just to kind of get myself into a new environment, kind of prove to myself again, and prove to other people. It's kind of that healthy competition within yourself, I guess.
I think when you moved, were Durham a Division 2 side and Kent were Division 1?
Yeah, my first year was Div 2 at Durham. Yeah.
Excellent. So you obviously saw the squad and everything around it. It was like, no, I fancy it. I think also for those who aren't aware, and Brunty herself as well, like when you were at Kent, there were 3 decent keeper batters there. And it reminded me a little bit of the Somerset situation many years ago with Butler and Keyswetter in the same side. And it kind of like something's got to give a little bit. And you've got Billings and Jordan Cox, and only one person can tend to keep. Even though you were probably all good enough to get in as batters, you obviously all want to keep. So do you want to give some insight into what it was like in terms of leaving your home county to literally go the other arse end of the country?
It was obviously hard. I got my opportunity when Bilbo dislocated his shoulder at Glamorgan at the start of the One Day Cup. And then I kind of played and did pretty well throughout that period. And then kind of as it got, Bilbo was kind of in and around the England squad, so he wasn't around. I was playing, and then he fell out of that system, and then I guess he then wanted to try and get back in. So it's kind of whatever he wanted to do, whether he felt he could get back in the England team as captain as well. You'd do it, and I think I'd be exactly the same in that position. But I completely understood it.
Frustrating, though.
Yeah, it was frustrating. But I kind of always played as a batter as well, so I never actually missed out from playing until probably the last couple of years when Coxey was kind of coming through as well.
Another young quality keeper batter, done all right.
So the biggest thing for me was moving to play more T20 cricket. Because obviously Coxey and Bilbo both had big roles in that T20 team, especially the year we won it, beat you boys in the final.
Yeah. Thanks for reminding me. Cheers.
That's right. but no, so yeah, that was kind of the main thing for my move, was to play more T20 cricket, and yeah, it's gone really well since I've been up here. I've done well. Probably not done as well as I wanted to in T20 so far, but going all right this year. So fingers crossed.
I was going to say, Durham and Ryan Campbell, they've put a decent side together up there, haven't they? Now, if you look at that Durham side, and led by my old mate, Big Leesy.
Big Alex Lees, yeah. No, he's been brilliant as captain. It's kind of very different to the way that Scott used to captain. Both obviously very good at what they did, but Leesy's got that little bit more authority and a bit more of a command.
He had that when he was about 15. He skippered Yorkshire at 22, and he was already a 45-year-old miserable git then anyway. Very stubborn and set in his ways.
But no, yeah, he's been good. And obviously I came at the same time as Cambo, so it's kind of a breath of fresh air for both of us, and kind of almost felt like we were actually building a proper team. And now we're going well, so it's been good.
Before we move on to your sort of background and how the season's been going, let's just roll back last week, shall we? And the Kookaburra game at the Oval, mate. Surrey getting 800 million. What was that like, and how's it been with the Kookaburra ball at the minute?
It's been hard. Well, especially from a fielding point of view. I mean, I've done a lot of it.
How many overs did you guys field for in that innings?
It's about 160, 162, I think it was. And then the week before, we were trying to bowl Sussex out, and they batted for 130. So we did it's part of 300 overs back to back, which is great fun.
At the Oval as well, which can be a tricky road as a surface as well. I think the weather's probably not helped because there was literally no moisture in the pitch, was there?
Nothing. We chatted to some of their lads as well, and they were surprised at how it looked as well. But yeah, it's just been hard. I think the pitches over here just aren't quick enough and bouncy enough for it to be effective. And yeah, I saw a thing today actually about trying to give you a new ball at 60 overs, which I actually think would actually be all right.
With the Kookaburra?
Well, with the Dukes as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I don't know where I saw that.
It's about time some rules got made to help the bowlers out, mate, to be honest with you. Like, if there was a few rules, I'll just get one new one every 20 overs or so. Like one a session, maybe. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
I think with the global warming, you might need to have these roles coming in.
Yeah, and I reckon you should be allowed to scratch the ball in like 2020 cricket and stuff as well, because reverse swing, get the Yorkers, it's exciting to watch, isn't it?
No, every 10 overs you get...
Every 10 minutes?
Every 10 overs you get 30 seconds to scratch the ball and then crack on.
I mean, I'm not in for ball tampering or anything, but I think it would be quite cool to have that in the comp. So, mate, your background, you're a man of Kent and proud of it. Give us a little insight into how you got into the game, and also you're like me, you're a state school kid as well. So what was it like for you, and where did all your main sort of learnings for your cricket growing up come from?
That's my kind of earliest memory was my dad used to play a lot of indoor cricket in the winter. So my earliest memory is going to watch him play indoor cricket just around the corner from ours. And then kind of watching him play, kind of being at the cricket club every Saturday. And then obviously went to school. Didn't really play much cricket at school itself, but I played club cricket from 11 years old, which I think was brilliant for me in terms of actually learning off adults. Even if it wasn't, the standard wasn't great, but kind of playing with people that are older than you and maturing on and off the field and just kind of getting a sense of life. I think that really helped me. Like I said, I didn't really do anything at school cricket wise. I did a few bits with a few teachers that like cricket, but a lot of it was AstroTurf and Wimbles and not these big fancy schools with massive pavilions.
I know, I get you with that, mate. And what was your club side growing up?
So I started at Sig Cup CC, and then I moved to Bexley, and then to Beckenham, and then back to Bexley. And Bexley was literally just around the corner from my house. So,
And were you always a wicket keeper, or did you ever have a dabble at bowling?
I did a little. I actually played my first adult game as a bowler because the pitch was too dangerous for me to keep. Apparently, so bowled off spin. But I was distinctly average at best.
Have you got any first class wickets? Have you had a bowl in first class cricket?
I bowled last year against Kent. I bowled 8 balls. No, I didn't. I bowled 2 overs for 8. So economy of 4. So I'm happy with that.
I feel like over the years we're going to get way more out of private schools just because the facilities now are so good. I've been to some of the private schools to play. When I was with England, we play a lot of the private school teams, the lads teams, to prep, and it was actually the standard we were playing against was actually too good for what we were going to come up against. So playing the 17-year-old first 11 of St Bede's, for instance, you play them, and then you're up against Sri Lanka. Back in the day, not good at all. They're bowling 41-mile-an-hour bombs, and you're facing these young lads who're bowling 80. But it was great. And you could, we'd go there, and I'm from state school, and I'd just look around and be like, "Is this real?" Some of the facilities were better than the England facilities we were getting. And it was just this is ridiculous. If you can't get into professional cricket after this, there's something wrong with you. So I don't see how we can get any more from state school based on.
Yeah, but I quite enjoy what Robbo's just said as well about doing his learnings from men's cricket, which I feel I did all mine as well. I only played 3 games at school. So as much as the sort of the private or the public sector of the schooling will help, I still feel like if your lad or girl is playing against a crap team on a Saturday for their school side, they're better off going off and playing adult cricket. Play the odd school game, like the important ones or the bigger games. And I get you can get captaincy experience and with your own peers and stuff, but I reckon it does toughen you up, and you do learn quicker playing adult cricket as a kid.
What I worried about with the girls though is that I played first, second, and third team cricket men's with no other girls in the league whatsoever. But that's what got me to England standard, because it was just everything was harder than anything I would ever do after the fact. But I don't think we don't do that anymore. Women's cricket, there's so many women's cricket leagues now and underage groups that you never have to play boys or men's cricket growing
The
up.
good ones surely would still want to go and play decent league cricket.
Absolutely, but their choice is there, and there'll be so many choices made of an easier choice. We didn't have a choice, but we didn't realise how good that would be for us. So that's the bit I'm worried about. And also it put you in a really good place mentally. And we were all pure rage.
Yeah, you in particular were quite angry. So
you don't see them like that anymore, do you, Jack?
you actually don't know. Lauren Filer's bowled that 78 mile an hour the other night, and she looked smiling and just
What's that all about? I want to see her get, some entertainment. You have to have a word.
So this year you've churned them, mate, haven't you? Have you got 800 or 900 Champo runs?
No idea.
How many runs have you got this summer?
450, 460. I started really poorly. I found some runs recently, but before at the start of the year, I reckon my high score was 16. I get to 16 every week though. I just couldn't get past 16.
More frustrating than getting 0 every week, probably.
Yeah. But no, I'm starting to pick up now, which has been nice.
And how's your 2020 form gone? Obviously, you said you wanted to improve and play more regular 2020 cricket. What have you learned from being up in Durham with the 2020 cricket?
I think it's just having like a consistent role. Actually, coming in every week, kind of knowing where you're going to bat, and you can actually train to do that. Whereas when I was at Kent, sometimes I'd rock up and you'd have a net in the morning, and you go, right, where am I batting today? And you can't. I don't feel like you can learn anything about that role. Whereas I think kind of now I kind of know I'm going to be 3, 4, or 5 if things go to plan. That's all quite similar batting. Whereas sometimes I'd bat 3, bat 7 the next week, 5, 4, and it kind of throw me off a little bit. I know obviously it's all about being flexible, but in your own head, I feel like you need that bit of consistency.
100%. I think role clarity is huge, isn't it? And Durham are smashing it this year. Aren't you going well?
Yeah, we've done really well. We're second, I think, in the group.
Try and get a home quarter.
I think that's massive for us. So obviously it's a long way for other teams to come.
Yep.
Just fly and get the train.
Sure, a lot of teams would. I think Surrey are flying back from when they play us.
Of course they are.
Yeah, Surrey are going on a road trip for the next 2 Kookaburra games. So they've got 3 2020s, and then they go to Scarborough for a Kookaburra 4-dayer against the Yanakshire. And then they go straight from there to Durham for the next 4-dayer. And I think, yeah, you're right. I'm not sure how they're coming back. I know they're getting a bus up there. But yeah, it's mad. At least they've got those 2 trips next to each other, though, because otherwise you're going up and down the country. Again, we'll touch on sort of the scheduling and everything in a little bit. But I know, Brunty, I want to talk to you about your brief dipping the toe into the England stuff recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, let us know how that went. And was it what you expected or harder or what?
I didn't really know what to expect, if I was honest. I kind of went into it with kind of not like a fanboy, but a little bit in terms of just like to be around it. So I remember I bought TNT at home to watch that series, and then
And then you're there.
I'm there. That was a waste of money.
Who are your coaches in the England stuff?
We had obviously Baz, Trez, Jeets, Collie.
Any of them your favourite? Like any of them properly good to work with, or would you say you've got a similar situation going off at Durham? Because some people find it like they're better off where they were, or it is better at the top. You don't know, like it's not better.
I don't know. It was I just kind of could do what I did. I didn't. Because a lot of the times we train 2 days before, the day before, and obviously the day before all the lads that are playing kind of train, and I kind of just picked up the scraps really, what was available. But no, it's more just listening to them and talking about like working with like Trez, working with Ruti, Brookie, and like all the big dogs, and how they kind of go about their training. So I was kind of just a bit of a sponge really, and just kind of watching how they went about their training sessions.
Did it make you think, oh, I don't train enough?
I think it made me think I don't train the right things enough. I think it's so much for just having an easy net, isn't it? And like I watched Bance the other day, and he said he hasn't faced sling for however long. Actually, taking yourself out of your zone and facing bowlers, because like notoriously facing bowlers in nets is pretty minging.
Well, half the time the nets, because they get used so much by men, women, and just lots of cricket, especially if you're at an international ground. You just the nets just get tired, then it's not realistic.
I think the minute you don't trust it as well, it just becomes.
It's in your head, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
One thing I wanted to touch on about your winter and your arrival, mate, was that you were fashionably late. I don't know if you could talk to us about your passport issue.
Yeah, that was
Embarrassing.
I don't know if it was embarrassing. It was just.
Well, you weren't to know, were you?
No, so I sent my passport off on the Friday over the weekend for some reason, and then just to get it renewed because we were going to Zimbabwe in March. So I thought, right, I've got some time now. I'll get it done. The Durham passport office was closed, so I couldn't go there. So I just sent it off. I've got a couple of weeks. The next day, Baz calls me. I don't know. Are you able to get on a flight to New Zealand? Trying to sort it for tomorrow. And I was like, that's amazing. But And he was like, right, okay, well, we can work with that. And it ended up being 2 or 3 days before I ended up actually getting the passport. I had to drive to Liverpool from Newcastle the day they were playing Real Madrid in the Champions League. How can I spend 3 minutes in Liverpool and then drove home? And then flew the next day. It was chaos. It was just relief more than anything when I got that passport.
Yeah, I imagine, mate. Imagine that stopped you from going on England tour.
Yeah, I think that would hurt me. That
I think there was a few favours pulled, to be fair.
well, that's the thing. But if I had actually had my passport and it expired, it would have been fine because they could have just done it there and then. But because it was in the post, no one actually had the passport.
Ah, okay. Yeah, no one had their hands on it.
Yeah, so it's just like in the Royal Mail system.
And what was it like in the? So you arrived on like day 3 of a test match, didn't you? What was it like with the other lads? You get a bit of bant when you arrived.
A little bit, but it's my birthday as well. The day I got there, so the day I got there was my birthday, and then they won the test that day. So it's quite a nice.
Oh, nice birthday for you then.
Yeah, it's lovely.
Just just remind me, because I'm being ignorant, but the England call up was that based on test performances or red ball performances? That's what they predominantly wanted you for.
Yeah, so I did a good year the last couple of years, a couple of Lions trips before that. And yeah, Jordan Cox broke his thumb. I don't know, kind of, because Jamie wasn't there either. And then I was kind of the next one, I guess.
Is that your ambition, or are you thinking you might want to be people to sort of lose that stigma of you and move more into the white ball area? I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
Obviously, I think for me, Test cricket, red ball cricket's the best format for me personally. But actually, I'd love to be that person in T20 cricket, but I just kind of haven't quite got my head around that quite yet. Which is, I've always based myself on my red ball game. I think a lot of players now based kind of how they're doing on the white ball. I remember chatting to, I can't know who it was, but I was talking about, do you save your best bats for white ball or red ball? And everyone's like, white ball definitely. And I'm like, really? And I always save mine for red ball. So I think that's just my mindset of kind of always, because a lot of players now go in, don't they, and play T20s before they play Champo cricket. So I guess that's kind of just all I've been brought up with. But yeah, I would like to.
He's I've experienced bowling at Robbo before. Brunty is a proper player. He's a very, very handy player. It's only a matter of time before you start churning them bigger scores in the 2020 as well, mate. And hopefully see you back in amongst sort of 3 line stuff. It must be a bit sort of, wow, Jamie Smith's come in and done that well. Like, to take the gloves off him now, you have to do something special, and you'll be very good, ready to go if he gets rested or whatever. But just because Folksy can't get a gig, and he's arguably one of the best keepers in the world, isn't he? So
I think that's the thing as well. It's kind of being at peace with it as well. And actually, if obviously Smudge is an amazing player, and it is what it is, and I'm content with that. Like some people say to me, like, "Oh, are you annoyed about he got picked over you?" I'm not really. Like, it is what it is. Like, he's obviously a very good player, but yeah, obviously I'd love to play, but if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen.
Don't
But
necessarily have to be that keeping role. Like
no, true.
Ollie Pope, like quite easily have his position. Not that he's a quality player, but you got to think highly of yourself.
No, of course, I do, but I think it's just having that sense of realism as well that I've kind of just taken that. I think.
something to get you out of bed for in the mornings, though, isn't it, to aim for? I had it the whole of my career. I think I feel like you had to have it to get better, didn't you, really?
I think it's all I hope for as a kid, isn't it? When you come into the game, and it's interesting. You chat to people that have kind of been in the system, dropped out of the system, and kind of realise they're not going to get back in the system now. What's your drive now? Is it to be the best county cricketer to whatever it is for them? But actually, how your motivations change, I guess, throughout your career.
Yeah, 100%, mate. And also, how far up your sort of motivation, if you like, is winning the championship with Durham as well.
Yeah, I'd love. I think it means so much to obviously to everyone, but actually the lads that have kind of been through Durham since they got relegated. well, whenever that was, 10 years ago, whatever it was.
Had some tough times, haven't they, for a while?
Yeah, and I think for the fans and kind of everyone involved, it'd be massive. Even the blast this year, like if we kind of keep doing what we're doing and get somewhere near finals day, it'd be massive for the club and it'd be brilliant, I think, for everyone.
I was going to say you've got that medal hanging up, mate. So you can go. Look, this is how I think we'll win it, boys. Good day out, finals day. I think I've won 1, lost 4 finals days.
4.
Been to finals day 5 times, I think, with different clubs. I've only actually played at 1 though. Like the other 4, I was either in the squad or in the stand drinking. So you've been a PCA rep for how long, Nate? Did you do it at Kent as well as Durham? Or?
No, I've just started this year with Durham. Rainey had a kid and kind of passed it on. And yeah, I was keen to get involved and try and do what I could do.
And do you have any overwhelming thoughts with it all? Are you there with the lads barking orders and stuff? Are you just like gathering and listening, or what's it like with the Durham change room? Do they talk about things like the schedule much?
Yeah, I think there's a lot, especially for us being so far away from everywhere. The traveling's chaos. So we've been back at 4 a.m. twice in the T20s, and then you have the day off, and then you play again. It's hard work, but they posted a like a screenshot of all the miles travelled for all the teams, and we were head and shoulders above everyone else. So I think something does need to change. I think whether that be reduced games or a different schedule or a different system. But if you want the best quality product, then you have to give something. And yeah, we just hope that other people see that as well.
Yeah, 100%. I think the schedule is so condensed, having now since the hundreds come in, lodge everything in. And I don't think we need as many 50 over games because that schedule's minging as well. 8 games in 15 days, whatever it is. Like I get the Blast was a big money maker, and county chief execs want to keep that many home games. But I don't know. I honestly don't know what the right answer is because the schedule could change and not much would change because it would still be busy. They could obviously give you a bit more time off in between games potentially, but then I don't know how that would still work trying to get everything into the summer. Like, do you have an angle with like I think that might actually work best, or anything that the players think? Yeah, that's probably even a high percentage of Durham lads. Where are they thinking?
I think for T20s, I think the 3 groups of 6, the regionalised groups would work well.
I've done that before when I was at Northants years ago. I was playing when that was around.
Well, we had it in the Bob Willis, didn't we? In that COVID year, when it's kind of 3 regionalised groups and you play everyone twice, and it works quite well. I think, but with that as well, it reduces our travel, which is massive for Durham. I think. Then the Champo, I think, like that 2-tiered system with the tier underneath, I think would be the best option, just to refresh it and kind of give it a new lease of life and kind of have the best against the best with a final. Again, it's literally exactly the same as the Bob Willis year, pretty much. And kind of that showpiece final, wherever it may be. Just give it something new and attract some new players and yeah, just see kind of what happens when that comes in.
Yeah, showpiece maybe with the Duke, not Kookaburra.
Well, yeah, hopefully, yeah.
But imagine if you win the group, the ladder, the whatever you want to call it, by a stretch, like I don't know, 30 points, whatever. Clearly the best team, and then you go to the final against second place, and then you get done over. Like you'd be absolutely devo, wouldn't you?
Yeah. I guess that. I think they're trying to do it so you have like an advantage if it is a draw. I think that team with the most points would come out on top
and play, and it would still be at like Lords or something rather than the home ground of the team that finished top. Or
yeah, yes, that as well, isn't there? There's so many ways you can do it. It's finding what's going to work, and it's having people vote for it. And
well, yeah, there's a lot of options, and also you're never going to keep everyone happy. So you've almost got to feel like what is going to be the best option. Because I think I've got some numbers here. It's like 83% of current professional players are concerned about their physical well-being due to the current schedule. 83%. So it's pretty much everyone is concerned, not just Durham players. and about 67% are worried about their mental well-being. I think that's a case of just being absolutely run down, knackered, and knowing they're not at the top of their game is probably having an impact on, how, especially the ones that are battling for a career or a contract. So that's quite big numbers, isn't it?
It's massive. Yeah, I didn't realise it was that high. But like, yeah, everyone at Durham you speak to, everyone's shattered. Like you rock up and it's like you've literally spent 12 hours away from everyone. You go home and you're back in, and it's just like a merry-go-round of just rocking up, training, playing, not training, playing, and you're just not spending any time at home really.
No, there's no more best when fresh.
That's one day one of the season, I think, when you're fresh, especially bowlers. But it's mad to think what happened back in the day with like you play 3 days of a game, then go and play one day, and then come back and finish the Champo game. And like the players of years gone by, or supporters or journalists, whatever, would say, "Oh, this was a done thing. There was loads of games, and it was always travel, and it was worse in our day," sort of thing. But it doesn't mean it was right. And actually, a lot of those would have suffered financially and mentally when their careers finished, and physically. Like quite a lot of older generational cricketers and sports people, probably when the game wasn't as professional, and knackered when they, 50s, 60s, having all sorts of joints replaced and can hardly walk and everything. So there's a lot to do with player welfare, and actually, like, let's try and have a normalish life when we do finish as well.
I think I just don't want it to get to a point where something happens because someone is so drained or so like physically tired that something bad happens, then they go, right, okay, we need to do something. You'd rather get it in now before something does happen.
Yeah, that would be awful.
There's a couple of bits, isn't there? I think there's more young families, and that really affects them. Now being a mom, I couldn't imagine if I had a husband, for instance, you always away, just not really an option for me mentally. So like, you all suffer because if she suffers, child suffers, you suffer, then you suffer.
Well, you are effectively living it because you're married to
Yeah. Well, yeah.
the England captain,
I choose to follow her around.
like a little puppy.
Exactly, but a lot of people aren't lucky to do so, do they? They have to stay at home, or they have to work, or they have to find other means. So yeah, it's tough, and there's not. What's the point in, like, we all started playing cricket because we loved it and we had fun. So if you sap that out of it, what's the point? Like, yeah, money's great, but money doesn't give you happiness. Money doesn't, put, you make your family younger. Because that's what I've realised. I've missed so much. Like my nieces and nephews. My niece is 30 next year, and my nephew 24. Yeah, like they're grown up. I missed a lot of that playing cricket for 20 years. Like it's mad, isn't
Yeah,
it?
you're off living your dream. You wouldn't swap that though, would you? You can catch up on people.
Obviously not, but it's just what I'm trying to say is you make sacrifices and you start it because you love it. You don't want to regret it, like just for the sake of being flogged like a dead horse.
Well, yeah. Hopefully, if when this vote does happen, I think it's a minimum 12 out of the 18 counties. Obviously, everyone's going to vote on it. Need to 12 out of 18 for change, basically. So I'm not sure if any 12 will align, but I just don't know what it's going to look like. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. And I no longer play, so I'm not as vested, but I am a coach and interested in the welfare and the well-being of the game. But it'd be interesting to see what does happen.
What's your feedback?
Well, I don't think you can shrink the championship too much because I think you need to make it a worthwhile comp before. Because I still feel like the best team wins over a longer period. But there is too much of going on, and it just seems like the 50 over comp, there's too many dead games in that, and the schedule's not the most ideal. But I don't mind the 3 groups of 2020 because I remember doing that years ago with Northants, and 10 games, still a decent amount.
I think also if the club's worried about losing money because of losing 2 home games a year, actually more people would come to those 5 home games anyway. So
Well, I don't know about you guys, but Surrey and I know other counties, Somerset as well. They're not getting as many people watching this year. Like Friday nights and Sunday in London, like people are going home because not as many people are in London as much. So a Thursday night game in London might get more, but there's no or very little Thursday night game. So I don't know what the Durham might just go every week because they love cricket and it's easy accessible. But I think you might be right as well. If the numbers are dropping over more games, just get less games and get more people in for hopefully in theory, but you just don't know if that will work or not.
Well, I'm not being funny, but it's been going on that long that every county should know what days of the week brings them the most money and what days of the week puts the most bums on seats. So based on that, why can't all counties come together and say, this is our prime time slot, this is yours. Let's play this fixture then and that fixture there. Why does it have to be so hard? Because I bet you there's some 50 over games in there will actually lose you money financially because you've got to put the lights on or you got to get the groundies in, you got to put catering on. Like I think there'll be some loss in there. So it actually would work out better to take a few out.
It'd be nice not to have Red Bull games in the middle of a 2020 block as well, I think.
Yeah, that's massive. That can go ASAP.
It's so frustrating, isn't it?
Top of the list, guys. Anyone listening, that's the top of the list.
Like the last 2 weeks have been, like you just go from fielding for 20 overs to then doing 162. Shock to the system.
Let's move on to a bit more light-hearted chat. One of our segments is called Take 5, Robbo, where we're just going to try and get to know a little bit more about you away from the game with 5 very quick questions for you.
You can't possibly get it wrong. So let's start with the first one. Are you ready? What's the one fact you want to know about your life? So, like, obviously, you could say, I want to know how many bowls I bowled in my career.
Or it could be something non-cricket, like how many ice creams you've eaten in your life or something like that.
Yeah. I think I will go cricket though. I think it
How
would
many
be.
miles you've driven.
How many dairy milks? No. No, it'll probably be. I'd love to see how many balls I've actually caught in my life.
Caught. Nice.
Or dropped. I'll do
I mean, you're about would be a lot of balls.
It must be.
Going back to when you were 10.
Yeah, yeah. Or even just things caught when people like throw a pair of socks at you or something like that.
Have I got that to come, Jack, with little Theo? He's going to want to play.
Oh yeah, my little boy. Well, my eldest, not a little one because he can't even do anything. But my eldest, he throws and kicks, and yeah, he threw a few balls at my head in the garden earlier. That was good fun. Keeps me on my toes. Next question. Now, should it be cream and then jam, or jam and then cream on a scone?
It's jam then cream.
You go jam, then cream. So you use jam as a bit of a butter, and then
you jam your spread, and then your cream's on top.
Nice. I don't think it's a wrong answer either with that, by the way. I know Devon and Cornwall will kick off, but
kick off. If you could keep only keep one inanimate object from your house, what would it be?
That's a good question. What can't you do without in your house, mate? Radiators up north.
Yeah.
Yeah, those two.
I don't know.
Kettle, air fryer.
I think I'd go
Sofa, just comfort.
I could sit there all day.
There's a man who hasn't got kids.
As a cricketer or an athlete, surely investing in a really great mattress is just like one of the top.
Yeah.
There's nothing like sleeping in your own bed, is there?
100%.
Hotels, Jack, not the one.
Yeah, I don't really miss that too much, but I do share my bed with a toddler, so it's not quite the same. What famous person would you invite to a dinner party, dead or alive?
It's hard. It's probably not going to be your most premium because you've not had time to think, but you know.
Yeah. I'm thinking something history related. I love my history. So I go
Geoffrey Chaucer. You could just go through the Canterbury Tales with him, couldn't you?
You could ask Henry why he had so many wives and why he chopped their heads off and that.
Yeah, something like that. Or something World War II related. I'd go someone in World War II, someone like a Winston Churchill or a Neville Chamberlain. Just quiz him.
Yeah, nice. Smoke cigars in the back.
We've got a historian on our hands. I like it. It's something different. I'm a big fan of my history as well.
to know all the secrets. What's the weirdest present you've given or received?
My uncle actually a couple of Christmases ago got me an indoor frisbee.
Interesting.
I, not had a use for it yet.
Have you used it? Have you thrown it around?
No, not once.
It's for rich people from one wing to the other, surely.
Well, you'd know, Brunty.
No, I could buy one for Mrs. Ambani though for when I see her next year.
True. Well, that's great, Robbo. That's good to know all that. Some interesting information. Now let's move on to our final segment with you. You'll be glad to get going soon, but you've got to do a quiz first, mate. Our last round. But there is a prize if you are top of the leaderboard. A genuinely good prize as well, because we are sponsored by Simplexity Travel. And they have basically just fronted up a little prize. It could be like a 3 or 4 day trip to anywhere, really. So post season. You got a missus, partner, anyone in your life?
Yeah.
You could treat her to a nice 4 nights in Iceland. You could go somewhere warm. Simplexity are being very kind, basically. So there's a freebie trip there for someone who is top of our standings. Now, it was up until last week, Kate Cross. But then Jemima Rodriguez came on last week and she got everything right, all 10 questions. They're not that difficult, mainly about yourself. Well, they're all about yourself as well. She got all 10 right, but in 1 minute, 5 seconds. So there is a bit of quick fireness to it as well. So you don't want to think for too long over your 10 questions. We've got to take your first answer. So if you end up top, mate, come the end of the summer, you could be in your missus' good books. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay and take her somewhere.
No, it will be decent, and you can tailor it to whatever you want, which is
Yeah, exactly. No, it's fantastic. So Brunty will start, and we'll take it in terms of questions.
Which Real Madrid speedster who won the 2018 World Cup with France was also born in 1998?
Mbappe?
Correct.
Correct. Who beat Northern Superchargers to a place in last year's 100 Eliminator on net run rate?
Brave.
Yes.
In which Caribbean country did you make your List A debut?
Antigua.
Correct. Have Durham won the county championship 2 or 3 times?
3.
Yes.
In which city do Kent play the majority of their home games?
Canterbury.
Correct.
What symbols used to represent a wide in a scorebook?
A cross.
Yes.
In which ground will the Ashes Boxing Day test take place?
Melbourne.
Yeah. Who did you score 206 not out against in a List A game in 2022?
Worcester.
Who has a better T20 strike rate, you or Alex Lees?
Me?
Yeah. And final question, which Kent legend has taken the most wicket-keeping dismissals for England?
Oh, it's got to be Alan Narnett.
Yeah, correct. Nice, mate. 10 out of 10. And we're going to wait for the producer in my ear to tell me how long that took. See if you beat 1 minute... Was it 1 minute, 5 seconds?
Oh, fantastic.
1 minute, 2 seconds. We have a new leader on the quiz leaderboard. Ollie Robinson is top of the league.
Oh no, it's a boy at the top.
Well, a girl won it last year. Heather Knight won it last year, and she won 500 quid's worth of Jay Lindenberg clothing, which I don't think compares to a holiday. And as much as we like Jay Lindenberg, and feel free to get back involved, but they weren't, I don't think, the easiest questions, some of them. We still smashed it.
Yeah, I thought Mbappe was older than that.
No, it's your age, mate. Mate, that's top draw. So you're now top, and there's potential for you. If we get a few of the not so smart cricketers on.
Who you got next?
Recommend us a few who aren't the sharpest, and we'll get them on for you.
Callum Parkinson, there you go.
Oh, here we go. Here we go. Shots fired, Parky. There we go. We get that up as a reel, shall we? Mate, that is awesome. Thanks so much for coming on. You've given us some unbelievable insights, and it's been great to see you and chat to you as always, mate. You're a beauty. Keep going, mate. Keep churning them. Good luck for the rest of the summer.
Thanks very much.
Let's see if Durham can get themselves to finals day or a decent Champo run in Super September, mate. And we'll catch up with you soon, bud.
Lovely. Thank you very much, guys.
Nice one. Cheers, Ollie.
Cheers.
We got a boy back on top of the leaderboard. I tell you what, the lead has changed 3 times already, I believe, or 4, maybe even 4 times. Last year, I think it didn't change until right at the end, did it?
Yeah. We had some pretty shocking ones last year. I think the questions are a lot easier this year.
Yeah, maybe. Or do we just have not so smart cricketers last year?
Perhaps not. I think what we're going to have to do is we're not very consistent with our how quick we ask these questions. Sometimes, like for instance, I just couldn't even speak in that first question. It's like,
Yeah, but it was a long question as well, wasn't it?
so we'll be getting some grief next if we don't start asking them consistently.
We don't sleep anymore, so actually basic speaking and like English is not the easiest anymore.
That's a fact.
So we'll have another amazing guest for the listeners soon. It could be a county championship legend. It could be a current player. It could be an international women's player. It could be an Indian from men's or women's team. We'll do our best to get some absolute special guests on for you. It's great to have you back, Katherine, back in the hot seat. I hope you've enjoyed being back with us this week. Have a great week or 2 until we next team up. And as always, to the listeners, please subscribe and send in any questions, comments. Tell all your friends. DM us on Instagram using hashtag #UnderTheLid or emailing us at underthelid@thepca.co.uk. Be seeing you.
Ciao for now.
Bye.